My craziest entrepreneurship is one day, like literally no one turned up to work. Like, I know it's funny. So I guess so literally no one turned up to work. So I had to take orders. I had to cook the meal. I had to serve the food, and then I had to clear up until it's.
Have you thought of running a cafe? You probably have, don't mind. While I am against running a cafe, I have a great guest for you today. She's the founder of one of the earliest halal cafes in Singapore that actually serves awesome tasting food. Not the kind of chain store that you struggle to enjoy, but it hasn't been an easy journey. Introducing Azurah, chef owner of Wilder, one of Singapore's top halal cafes. She eventually closed the business, not because business wasn't great, but for things that are deeper, more vulnerable, and closer to heart. So I'm very happy to have her on, and we had such a special time. This is probably the most special episode across the whole season that we had together. Very vulnerable time. So I welcome you into our conversations and welcome you back to our Entrepreneurshit Show.
It's crazy, and right, that moment made me realize that as entrepreneur, as a leader, or even as being your own boss, you need to a certain extent be able to do all the roles, because shit like this happens. And I was so grateful in that sense that I made sure that I know to a certain extent, like, okay, this is of course because I run the space, right? So I should be the one that knows everything. So it's insane, Reggie. I'm not even kidding. I still, that day is like, it's like imprinted in my mind. It's like, wow.
That's why you will never go back to F&B again.
No, I mean, one day, no, I better not say that. No,
If not, after this is out, right? Somebody will call you. Hey, I heard one day you can start again, huh? I'm waiting for you.
Yeah, it's really hard. But okay lah.
Yeah. So at the end of that day, right? Because while you're hectic and running around, right, you will not think about it.
Yeah.
Right? You will just be getting it done, flow everything. At the end of that day, when you close the register, sit down there, how did you feel?
At that moment, this is not even me kidding. I literally went to the back alley, because my area was like a shop house, right? But to the back alley and just collapsed because it was so tiring, and I felt like in the verge of there are days when you just want to give up, right? I mean, have you had those days? That was a very silly question. Yes, I know you had those days.
I think entrepreneurs just have it more, right? Because every day is not the same.
Yes, every day is not the same.
So sometimes you'll be like that also can, right? Like the experience is amazing, it's jarring.
Yeah, it is.
And then how did you revisit that day with your team?
I kind of sat down with I called, because the thing is, right, you can't blame them if they have last minute, they're sick and all that. These are things that we cannot put blame on, or hey, and I kind of sat down with them. So if and kind of communicated with them that, hey, look, at the end of the day, this is your space too. I mean, I've always believed in that kind of environment where there's no point for you to be scolding adults. You know what I mean? They will do what they want to do. but the thing is, I just want to kind of so technically I just sat down with them. I revisit that feeling that I had, and I told myself that it's probably going to happen again, and you just got to deal with it, because there's no I just went on. I guess in that period of 3 years, right, Reggie, I never to be honest with you, there was hardly a time where I actually sat down to think about myself at the aeroplane. I don't know, man, it's just I don't know. Okay, so I think when we first started, right, there wasn't like a big influx of cafes about 5 years ago. There was still 4 years, 5, I think 5. There's still this, but now I tell you, it's everywhere, right?
Everywhere.
So when we first started,
Maybe not in Woodlands. I was in Woodlands the other day, there was no cafe. Okay, but yes. Please continue.
maybe you want to start that. Maybe
No cafe in my life. Okay, I can go and enjoy.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like, okay, so so when we first opened, right, you know, all this like the food bloggers or influencers, you know, like to go in and cafe hop and take pictures, right? And then there's this one Instagram post that said, I don't know why we suddenly became the hype, you know. It's so strange. It's like I didn't even know. Someone said, or because okay, I read somewhere this statement that says, good or bad publicity is still publicity, right? So I guess we got the bad publicity. But no, because okay, so I cannot remember what happened. But I know that someone actually put on Instagram, right? The food or what is so or something like that, right? So then another there's a plane.
Continue, you can say. Is that the plane again? The plane loves us today.
Yeah,
I know
today.
you can continue saying it's
Okay.
fine, yeah.
Yeah.
The food is so.
Yeah, the food is like so and stuff like that, right? So then this influencer, this food blogger influencer, I don't know what they call themselves. So they sorry. So they actually
yeah. Continue.
so they actually he actually came down and, you know, had our food and drinks and all that, and then he said, the food is actually nice. I don't know why people are so like that. And then we got like I cannot remember, but all I knew was at that moment someone actually said that we would like hype or trending. I cannot remember. No, I think it was what hype. So then like more people came because of that. Yeah, you see, but that was you know. Oh, another thing is to deal with all these like reviews and, you know, like this publicity that we never asked for, but you know.
We never asked for. But yes,
Yeah,
that
right?
is a real challenge.
Yeah, that is a real challenge because everyone has their own taste. Like they prefer certain things certain ways, you know, and stuff like that.
And you guys are more fashion forward, right, with your food, right? So it's very tough for the locals to understand at that point in time.
It's like, you know, it's fusion and stuff. So people don't really, what's that? But eventually, we picked up and stuff. So it's good. It's all good. But there's different kind of elements. And now it's tougher, I feel. I was in the era where, you know, women are supposed to get married. I'm not that old, by the way, but it's always reminded, like, that is the way for us to go, to get married, you know, to have kids, to have your own family, and maybe perhaps, you know,
And
perhaps I guess that, you know, your whoever you marry or whatever, right, will kind of like support you, and you don't, you know, that kind of like. So I guess to a certain extent, I felt that, you know, we need to be a bit more braver, I feel, because when I first started, right, it's like and the people that you surround yourself with is very important.
yes.
Yeah, I mean, because I grew up, my aunt, like I have like 7 aunties, you know, and there was very strong.
Like a kampong.
Like kampong, and there's very a strong woman presence, and, you know, like each one of them kind of like taught me different things. Yeah, but I guess I'm lucky in that sense to kind of like grow in that kind of environment, even though the outside environment keeps telling me that, you know, nah, you can't do that, you know, why do you want to start your own business, you know, or there's that, like, it's like a list that goes on.
And that's why ultimately you closed it.
The reason why I decided not to kind of like continue, because something happened throughout the 3 years that I ran the space, that there was a change in mindset, I guess, who I am as a person. I was missing something. Something was missing. Okay, at that point in time, I didn't know what was missing. I just felt that, you know, it's like every day I'm doing in and out. Then I realized that I've lost myself. Yeah, and I feel that was the hardest bit for me. And I didn't realize it until, you know, someone actually said that, you got to take care of yourself first. And then I was like, how do I take care of myself? I have like a I have to think about so many other things. And I lost my creativity because then I had to manage the place, right? Were you in that position where that you kind of get lost? Like what am I doing? Yeah, like I don't know why I'm here. And I feel that I'm that kind of person that needs to know why I'm here. I actually decided not to cook meat anymore.
Okay, tell me more. I love
Okay.
tempeh, by the way, just saying. Tell me more. Yeah.
I guess okay, so one day I
Wait, I just want to put it out there that for you guys, you may not think it's a big thing, but for a restaurant to suddenly say that, okay, we're turning vegetarian, that's a whole idea revamp.
Yes.
Whole thing is changed.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, thank you, Reggie. You clarified it all.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's different.
yes.
So, my palate changed. I want to go vegetarian. Okay, that's you. It's fine, right? But from a restaurant viewpoint, that is a whole shake-up of the brand identity. Everything is changed. Right?
Yeah. It's very true.
Yeah.
I struggled with that thought because I'm the one that's behind the kitchen. I mean, I am the chef. So one day I just felt very how do I say this, reluctant to cook meat, to work with meat anymore. So that changed a lot. And and then I decided to I thought I could push it back, that feeling of of not wanting to cook meat anymore. But then as I work with meat and stuff like that, I couldn't anymore. And I know from a business point of view, it's bad because and the strange thing is, right, chicken wings, right? I since the day we started, right, I never cooked chicken wings because I believe in the holistic. That means if I were to cook chicken, I'll use every single bit of it, not just the wing. But that is who I am as a person, from the start, So that I refuse to kind of and people always say buffalo wings will make you a lot of money because people sit down and just eat and munch and stuff with your whatever and stuff. So so after that a lot of things shifted. And it's hard because like you said just now, right, everything changes then because my pulled beef and cauliflower mash was my favorite. Not my favorite, was like the customers.
Bestseller,
yes, correct. There's my salted egg calamari and French fries was also the best seller. So a lot of things.
It's like what's next? Right?
Yeah.
So then with that, you decided to wind down the whole thing? How was it? Like it was a thriving business, right? From what I gather, all your food bloggers come in.
No, it's not all food bloggers.
Some
food bloggers.
Some food bloggers, right? And then there's a loyal following. People, their favorite dishes, things are doing fine. And you're so busy. And then, how did it feel when you ended it?
I felt that I kind of let down a lot of people. First, like for example, the customers. Let down a few of my partners, for example, the people that has helped builder. So sorry, it's harder. No, it's okay. Yeah. So yep. So, but no, wait, I need to calm down.
Yes. We calm down. Come.
Yeah. Sorry. Okay.
Oh, it's good.
No, I don't. I'm supposed. I play rugby, and I play contact sport.
But you are human.
That's true.
You're human. You have emotions. There are bad days, and sometimes these things they stay around.
Yep.
Because we don't talk about it. But the more we talk about it, the more we work through.
Yep.
These things, right? Yeah.
I feel like I'm in counselling.
Wow. No, not counselling. Not counselling.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I guess the part about I felt that let people down to a certain extent. But I can't. I mean, there are people who actually approach me to kind of like want to kind of like come together, like collaborate or take over Wilder. But the thing is, Wilder is not just a name. It's something that we've had an idea and we've actually built it to what it is till today. And and a lot of the people that actually approached me, they don't like it's very different. Their how they run things or philosophy or different idea of what they want.
So it feels like you were very attached with the brand, right? It is your thing. It is you.
Yes, it is. It is me. Whether it is me and the people that actually helped me build that brand. The thing is, yes, I said let's end the brick and mortar, but we are still doing, different things now. But it's still the same. It's still the same us.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But sometimes that is just not enough for others.
Yes, it is. I mean, look. If let's say someone were to kind of like, if someone one day were to come in and tell me like, hey, let's start, like say a plant-based, something, right? Let's
start wilderness. something.
Yeah, like start that, but with the same kind of philosophy or objective or aim to kind of like run that business. I said, okay, I mean, it's something that I feel that I can explore, and whatever I'm doing right now till today, I feel that it's coming together. This is meant to be.
So yeah, so from the end of Wilder, I presume there is a healing process, right? Because it sounds like so much is going on. How did you go through that?
Okay, I guess to share about this, I have to backtrack a bit of my personality a bit, because I guess I've always been the kind of person, right? I don't share my problems with anyone. I mean, but that's the kind of person I am, and I feel that I can deal with the problems. And then usually, right, I think I'm the kind of, like, my friends, it's so strange, that I don't know whether it's a coping mechanism or maybe one day I'll just like go kaboom. But it's something that I've learned to go through it, acknowledge it. I think acknowledging it is the most important. And then take that time, how do I say this? That a minute, for me, I feel like it's a minute to like, get yourself together, and you've got to continue doing it. I've never really take a really like long break to
review and
to review
and just kind of reconnect.
But I feel that that's my mechanism though. I feel that also because I've grown up with sports. I mean, I've been an athlete for like most of my life. And the mentality, I mean, this is my own personal thing, is that when I was younger, I got into a car accident with my family. So, and that kind of build up my mentality. My mental strength. Like, if I don't go through this, should I just wallow in my sorrow, or what's the next best thing that you can do?
And then how did you end up with Lokalfeed?
We wanted to build a platform that actually kind of tells a story. Like we want to empower and kind of like support women. So then to tell their stories. I mean, that is what we started with, and we're kind of like trying to build it up because it's still relatively new.
So what do you think are some of these like very common challenges that women entrepreneurs face?
I cannot remember. Okay, I said I was the host during one of this with one of the universities, right? And the investors actually, investors themselves actually say, right, that technically we need more women. Right, in the investors world, in the
I mean, they go to the extent of having like a women fund, right? Focus like for women investors. So this is a underserved market. Every time someone sets up a special thing for special group, then they are not the dominant in the space.
Yeah.
Right? So there is a gender difference.
Yes, correct.
Yeah.
Gender difference. I mean, not all of us will experience it, but it does exist. It does exist. I mean, this is like a whole different topic that is just gonna go into like a rabbit hole. So, so Lokalfeed, so we decided to kind of like take on Lokalfeed and see where it goes. But right now, it is a platform for us to kind of like tell stories and empower. Like, you can do this too.
Yeah. So, what are some of these like stories that you think are worth sharing?
For example, there's this one entrepreneur that she's a co-founder and worth sharing. Okay, sorry, I lost my thought.
Sharing. Yeah, some good stories that you feel.
Okay, it's not just related to business. So there's this one girl. She actually rode around halfway around the world on her scooter on her own.
So cool.
Yeah, right. So these are the amazing stories that because when I was growing up, there weren't many women representation, or there weren't many stories about women that can do this, can do that. So I don't know. I just felt that there are a lot of amazing women who are actually paving their own way, and their stories should be told. I mean, people underestimate the power of how do I say this the power of representation, or that you can do this, and it has nothing to do with gender at all. Even though when someone says that girls can't do that or women can't do that, or that's not where you're supposed to be, like fudge it lah,
Let's just get it done.
Yeah, just get it done, because I've actually heard stories that because of what people say to them, right, that they don't want to do it. And the thing is, I don't know why, but some women, I want to build their confidence. They're like, there are so many women with amazing stories, and they are actually doing this, that, and it is possible. I mean, yeah.
Awesome. So yes, I think you've shared a lot.
Yeah. Well, hopefully it helps.
A lot of stories like
all over the place.
It's a beautiful mess, right?
Yes,
so
yes,
it's aligned with the theme.
Yes,
right?
correct.
So,
I think I should use that tag.
Yeah, hashtag beautiful mess.
Yes.
Right, but it's really a lot of good stories, and I think one question that I ask everybody, and I want to ask you also, is like, after all these things, right? Like, why do you still do what you do? Entrepreneurship is crazy, right? So
yeah. I do it because, to be honest, like for example for Wilder, I do it because there's a problem. The problem is, the problem for me for Wilder is that how did I say this? Wait, let me just rewind that, okay? So I didn't tell you like me as a person and how I grew up in the sustainability bit. So that's how in Wilder also I kind of like impart that to the team and all that. And I felt that sustainability bit right now has evolved where I focus on just food waste. For example, I want like the world to not be like technically zero hunger lah. Whether it's even possible or not, but that's something that Wilder is going towards finding solutions to the problem of minimizing, for example, food waste, right? Because that's what we practice at Wilder. That's why I don't cook like a bulk and then serve. I cook when someone orders. But
when there's a portion.
Yes, when there's a portion. Because I know when I do that, when I cook in bulk, there might be food going to waste. But people don't see that as like a normal practice. So if they wait a bit longer, they're like, why is it taking so long? You know what I mean? So these are the things that I struggle with. And yeah, so for Wilder is because I believe and I'm working hoping towards finding the solution, for example, food waste, right? And to minimize the hunger in the world. Yeah. For Lokalfeed, it's equality. That nothing should be based on your gender, your race, or whatever. A person is a person. It's that an individual's capabilities to do what he or she wants to without being discriminated against, and stuff like that. So yeah, why I do it, because there is a problem and I'm very persistent in one way or another to do something about it now. I know it's really tough, and people do ask me that, but I say like, fuck it. Sorry, I just said fuck it. It's like people don't understand why I do. Like, like why don't you just get a 9 to 5? And there are people who actually offer me 9 to 5, but the thing is I feel that there's a problem that we need to solve. I don't know. I haven't found the answers yet, but I feel that this is my journey. This is where I'm supposed to be. Yeah, I mean, entrepreneurship is a struggle, man.
I know.
Yeah, and if you're not in it, it's very easy for you to say, but we are who we are, right, Reggie? So we'll just do it lah. Yeah. It's tough, but yeah. But I want to ask you. So why do you still do what you do, Reggie?
Yeah. So I think on my end, sometimes I'm not very sure also why do I do what I do, but it's this idea that I feel the need to live a congruent life, right? So like I've picked up a 9 to 5, right, on the side, but a lot of freedom lah. This 9 to 5, there's a very very good very well negotiated package, right? So 9 to 5 in a case that I offered my abilities, to somebody to do it, right?
Yep.
And I feel this dissonance because it's not what I love. I enjoy it in a sense that I enjoy figure out this problem, solving that thing. I have a lot of autonomy in the venture that I'm with, but I don't love it, right? So which is why we are doing what we do, because this is what I love. I love talking to people, understanding their stories, seeing the world from a multifaceted perspective. Many times in our own field, in our own circle, there is one story or there's a predominant narrative, and over time, if we stop exploring, if we stop going out and stop talking to new people, this dominant narrative will foster to be the truth, capital T, which is not accurate. There's just so much more out there. Yeah, oh my gosh, my hair. Hairstand.
It's like I feel that, how do I say this? And I'm not sure, but one thing that actually led me here is because, again, I think I mentioned earlier, right? Because I almost died when I was young. And I feel that people underestimate that what if the next day didn't come, right? If I were to die today, I know it sounds cliche, but this is something that I really believe in, because I had the experience of I almost died. And you don't want to live with regrets. I mean, even though whatever you're doing is super hard, it's not making you lots of money, but happiness and truth, like you say, right, it depends and it varies for a lot of people. So I feel like you need to live with purpose, right? Like, I mean, seriously, do you or myself know that we are going to live tomorrow, right? It's so that's how I choose to live my life lah. I mean, even though that people don't see it or people question, it's not the norm, but it's okay. At the end of the day, I am answerable to myself. I don't need anyone's approval or whatever. So
Thank you. Thanks for sharing.
No, thank you for sharing your story too. I mean, it's amazing, and I'm so glad that
I'm so glad we met. So that was pretty emotional, pretty, like what Azurah said, pretty like, it's a beautiful mess, right? So and I think that is where entrepreneurs kind of feel half the time. We just don't talk about it, right? It's every day is a new day. There is no like repeat, every day there's something new, like problems never end, and from time to time we have to take a break, we have to heal ourselves. But the reality that things are so messy half the time is beautiful in itself, but it's also the hard truth, right? And people don't talk about it, right? People tell you how easy is it to make money, to start your own e-commerce store, to like, build your whatever, and those are rubbish. From a personal viewpoint, from an entrepreneur's viewpoint, I think that is pure bullshit, right? Truth be told, every step of the way, things are changing. From finding the product to developing, from your team, and just so much. And I think Azurah kind of carried that whole difficult, the whole mess. And I'm still feeling it. I'm sure you're feeling it. And yeah, there's so much to learn. There's so much in this process. But like what she said, give yourself 5 seconds to doubt yourself. And you carry on. All right. So for all of you that have stayed all the way here, she has something more for you. So let's say someone wants to start to be an entrepreneur, right? What is one advice you would share with them?
The why. Because I think that is the most driving factor that is gonna kind of like push you, when you have a very bad day, that is gonna like push you above, like through that speed bump or whatever. Because you get lost very easily on why you're doing this. Because, yeah.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
No, I got one more advice. I think this is very important.
Okay.
That you give yourself 5 seconds to doubt yourself, and then just do it. So it's 2: the why, to drive yourself through that speed bump or whatever, that brick wall. The second one is just give yourself 5 seconds. So, which means, right, that if you think of an idea, and you think that it's a great idea at that moment, right? Do it within 5 seconds. After that, right, it's like, yes, the doubt will set in. And then you're like, oh no, should I do it? Shouldn't I? That's why I like, that is one rule that's why I do like all these these things that people don't.
Experiments.
Sorry.
Experiments, okay?
Experiments
Yes.
is this, because, and the thing is, because of these experiments, right, I get a lot of, projects that happens and stuff like that. But if I let that doubt sit in, I wouldn't have all this. And the thing is about putting yourself out there.
Yeah.
Just take that step. And I think courage is very important also.
Okay.
Yeah, I know that's 3. I'm sorry, but these are the
That's
things
4.
that's 4. Okay, sorry. See, I lost track. Thank you, Reggie.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.